Well, hey guys, happy Sunday. Look who's back. It's Totoro. I have mostly been relying on my Biggie mugs for my coffee, but I'm having some tea, and Totoro has been jiving on being a teacup as of lately. Anyways, I wanted to share something with you all. Yesterday in Costco, I purchased this great deal that those of you with oily skin, you need to get your hands on this. I hate saying that with such urgency, but anyways, these are really good sunscreens that I frequently recommend, and the two of them were only $27. That's a great value. It was I think ordinarily in Costco they were maybe 30 something dollars, but it was marked down to 27. Anyways, it's the La Roche Posay Melt-In Sunscreen Milk SPF 60. This in particular I love and frequently recommend, especially to patients with acne, because it's very oily skin friendly. It dries matte, and it has it doesn't have a cast like what you get with mineral sunscreens, but it does kind of have a little bit of a filmy look to it, but it's not bad. Great for the face and the body. It's a chemical sunscreen, and so the reason I like this is that the active ingredient in this that will protect you against the aging hyperpigmentation rays, UVA, is avobenzone. And avobenzone, as you guys know, is not the most stable active ingredient in sunscreens. It can degrade very easily, but it's the only chemical filter that we have in the United States that will protect us against UVA, the aging rays. UVA, remember, isn't really what burns our skin, it's what ages it. L'Oreal and Johnson & Johnson, so Neutrogena's Johnson & Johnson, La Roche Posay and CeraVe or L'Oreal, they do a really good job stabilizing avobenzone. They put a lot of R&D into that, and I've actually seen comparative studies of avobenzone versus their avobenzone with the Celox Shield technology, and it really is a marked improvement. So I personally just have a lot of faith in L'Oreal sunscreens in particular, as well as Johnson & Johnson. I mean, L'Oreal, they came out with Mexeril. They really just have a lot of vested research into sunscreen technology development, what I have the most confidence in when it comes to chemical sunscreens. Mineral sunscreens that have zinc and titanium dioxide, they too will protect against UVA, especially zinc oxide. Both of these are fragrance free, which is so important, have a pretty short ingredient list, so I like these a lot. Yeah, it's really hard for consumers and myself as a dermatologist here in the States to have any sense of how well a sunscreen is going to protect us from UVA. That's really important because for people who have Fitzpatrick phototype 4, 5, and 6 especially, a lot of the sunscreen messaging and information that you're given about a sunscreen that, guides you in buying one is geared around telling you about how the sunscreen is going to protect you from a burn. But if you have phototypes 4, 5, and 6, you're like, okay, I don't burn, like whatever. And so for a lot of people with those higher phototypes, sunscreen messaging is totally lost on them. They need some messaging and verbiage and ranking on sunscreen labeling that also speaks to the effects of UVA on the skin. Sunburn has to do with UVB, which is actually, it's a super important part, don't get me wrong. You definitely everybody needs to protect their skin against that, but it's not the only part of the sun. It's actually a pretty small fraction of the total ultraviolet radiation. The other part is UVA, the stuff that comes through window glass, destroys collagen, contributes to photoaging, hyperpigmentation, as well as skin cancer formation. So having some messaging around that, I think, would take sunscreen compliance to a whole nother level. Both a sunburn and a suntan, they are both skin wounding. Within that tan is a whole host of pro-skin aging effects that have just occurred. So basically anytime you tan, whether it be in the sun or, God forbid, in a tanning bed, worst. You are basically bolusing in aging into your skin. You're basically saying, okay, like anytime you say, I'm gonna lay out and get a tan today, you're basically saying, I'm gonna lay out and age my skin today. for somebody who should get a sunburn, that is a negative association with sun, and so they're gonna be more careful. People with fair, really pale skin that burns super easily, they're a lot more sun timid and more likely to cover up their skin. People who have phototypes 4, 5, and 6, I find in my experience, they tend to be happy with their skin tone at baseline, and they're actually more concerned that sun exposure will lead to, and accurately concerned for this, will lead to hyperpigmentation and make their overall skin complexion less even, and that's absolutely true. I will burn and I will tan. I can do both. So for people like me with phototype 3 who can burn and tan, there are these products that just like, knowing what I know, they're the worst products out there. They're so dangerous. They're basically tanning products that have SPF in them. And you might be like, isn't that a good thing? Oh, it's actually super dangerous. So for example, Banana Boat makes like this tanning spray that's like SPF 15. The reason those are dangerous is because the only sunscreen ingredients in those are those that will protect you against UVB, the rays that burn. They won't protect you against UVA, the rays that tan, and also wound and destroy and rapidly age your skin. They won't protect you against those. So for people with phototype 3, this is a really dangerous situation that happens all the time. I mean, I see this all the time. They use those products because they're seeking the social gratification, the instant gratification of a tan. This is why tanning is so dangerous, because it's socially acceptable to tan, and it's not uncomfortable, and you have a feeling that it's healthy. It's not healthy to tan. And so for people with phototype 3, they put on this product that will keep them from burning, so they stay out even longer, so they get even more UVA. And in many ways, a burn is better, because at least if you burn, then you're like, ooh, a little bit more resistant to stay out too long. But if you're out there and you're just tanning, that's not painful. Then you're gonna stay out and get a super high dose. That's actually one of the major issues with sunscreens in general historically, is that many years ago, sunscreens did not have adequate filters for UVA protection. Sunscreen would allow them to not burn, so they would get really too much UVA exposure basically. Now we know that was fueling the soil for skin cancer development. So those products, they should be taken off the market, in my opinion. They are dangerous. They don't claim to be broad spectrum sunscreens, because they're not. But to the average consumer, that kind of messaging is lost on them. They're like, oh, my skin is safe, it's just gonna tan. Oh, so wrong, so wrong. So yeah, be wary of products like that, you guys, that don't have, basically, if the product doesn't say it's broad spectrum, then it's not, if it's an American sunscreen, at least that's how we are required to disclose things. It's not going to protect you from all the rays, and that's important, because UVA will destroy the deeper layers of your skin. If you have phototypes 3, 4, 5, and 6, it also will lead to early onset and more persistent stubborn hyperpigmentation. Tanning is the worst, and it's just something that people don't equate as a negative thing, because socially it's very acceptable. And the other thing around tanning, and then I'll get off my soapbox, is that people might be like, but it feels so good to have a tan. Absolutely. You want to know why? Because within the skin there's an endogenous opioid system that's activated when you tan. So it's almost like, it's exactly like having a drug addiction. They've done studies looking at people who appear to be addicted to tanning. It's a true thing, tanning addiction. And they actually have them go into tanning beds where the bulbs have been replaced by just light bulbs. They go through withdrawal. They become irritable. It's opioid mediated, just like being addicted to heroin. But you guys, this morning I got distracted with this new app on my phone called Sunface, I think it's called. Let me show you guys. It's free. No, this is not sponsored. Yeah, it's called Sunface. And it's so cool because you can put in a picture of yourself or you can do it live. This is what I look like now, and then this is what I look like if I stop sun protection. This is what I'll look like in 10 years. Isn't that cool? And if I decide to start tanning once a week, this is what I'll look like in 10 years. It's even more dramatic. But I think at 15 years is really where it's telling. This is how I'll look in 15 years if I don't wear if I stop with sun protection and just, you know, stop wearing sunscreen. If I start weekly tanning though, this is where it's scary. Check it out, big old skin cancer right there on the nose. Yeah, this app, Sunface, is totally free. I learned about it I was reading an article that was published in, I think, JAMA Dermatology or JAMA Pediatrics, I forget which JAMA. But they used this app in a study in Brazil, and they showed teenagers these photographs of themselves before and after not using, like what they look like now and what they'll look like in 15, 20 years if they don't use any sunscreen, and then again if they go tanning. And this little study, this intervention, was basically showing that this app is a great tool for motivating teenagers to wear sunscreen and sun protection. So I thought that was really cool. It showed in the study that after showing them, you know, using this app got them to start wearing sunscreen consistently, which is amazing because if you can develop that habit as a teenager, it's going to serve you for a long time. I mean, ideally you develop it when you're a young child, but it'll be easier to do as a teenager than as a 30, 40-year-old. That, you know, it's never too late to start, but the sooner, the easier and the better. So I thought that was cool, and I wanted to share with you guys. It's totally free. They also have one I haven't downloaded it or played around with it called Smoker Face. It'll show you what you look like in 10 years if you smoke, and that, I imagine, is quite telling. Yeah, smoking. Those of you who smoke, I know it's hard, but you have got to quit. It's so dangerous for your health overall. I mean, let's not even get into the skin effects. I mean, it destroys pretty much every organ system in a slow and calculated fashion, and it's expensive too. So yeah, I mean, as much as I talk about sun protection, if you're smoking, that would be something I would push you to stop before even considering focusing on sunscreen, although both are obviously important, but smoking cessation is even more important than sun protection. Yeah, I mean, UV exposure is dangerous for your skin and eyes, but tobacco smoking is dangerous for all organ systems. You know, UV is not gonna, you know, give you obstructive pulmonary disease, at least that I know of. But smoking tobacco certainly will. All right, I've got a little outfit of the day going on here. I have just this black tank top, and I'm wearing these cute Bermuda shorts from Nordstrom. They're Caslon. And I've got my Barefoot Dreams cardigan because it's actually kind of cool in here, because I figured out I elected to put my fan on super high. So it's making it just a little too cool. You guys know me and my fanning addiction. Speaking of tanning addiction, yeah. And then I've just got on this little gold chain and my gold hoops and my little Headbands of Hope hairband. So yeah. Oh, and my rebounder back there, I just flipped it up. just made myself a citrus surprise smoothie, I'm calling it. Strawberries, 3 mandarin oranges, and then a scoop of the Orgain vanilla protein powder that I got at Costco. And this was in fact $5 cash back on Ibotta, so it was a great deal. It ended up total being $20 as opposed to $30, so that's pretty good. Anyways, yeah, and I just I actually put in some soy milk as well, ice, and I put in a little water, and then I think I ended up with too much, so it's pretty big. But yeah, I topped it with hemp seeds. Always a good topper. Yeah, lately I've really been on a smoothie kick, so let's give it a taste. It's quite good. Yeah, I've been trying to share these little recipes on my Instagram stories. Yeah, I've been trying to be more active on Instagram stories, and I post a photograph to my main Instagram feed once a week on Sundays, soliciting skincare related questions, and then throughout the week I try and answer as many as I can on stories so that everybody can see the responses more easily and they're more accessible. So yeah, if that interests you, check it out. I try and do that throughout the week, and I also share my smoothie recipes and just little bits and bobs here and there as I'm able to. So yeah, I'm gonna have that and watch the Saucony Jolies and have a cup of decaf. All right, I saw this recipe a while ago and I'm gonna give it a try. It's just 3 ingredients. It's for a flaxseed, like, bread cracker type thing. We'll see how it comes out. But it uses flaxseed meal. You can get this at Costco. If you have, it's best to freshly grind your own flax seeds, but whatever, this is convenient and it's gonna work for this. So it's 2.5 cups of the flaxseed meal, then a tablespoon of baking powder, which I need to add to the flaxseed meal. You mix that together and then you slowly pour in 2 1/3 cups of water, and then bake it at 400 degrees for an hour. Yeah, I went down the Pinterest rabbit hole the other night and I stumbled across this recipe. I'm on Pinterest, you guys, if you're into pinning. I pin like skincare products and whatnot. The dough came together really easily and held together. All right, in it goes, 400 degrees for, I believe it says an hour, which is quite a while. Nothing like a clean floor to start out the week. Oh, it makes me happy. I am in love, you guys, with that Shark steam mop. This is the second time I've used it, but it does a really good job and it's super easy to use and store and deal with. Yeah, totally recommend it. I don't know if they're still sold out on the Amazonian, but yeah, it really helps lift up the zucchini shredding fallout. That stuff is tenacious. All right, my flax loaf came out of the oven a while ago and it has completely cooled. I must say it rose quite a bit and it looks good. I don't know if it's gonna come out of the pan or not. Let's give it a try-zy and see what happens. Oh, update on my new cutting boards from Costco. This is another recommendation, you guys. These are amazing. They're Henkel's. Yeah, next time you go to the club, get these. They come in a 3-pack. This is a small size and there's a medium and a large. And pick up your Roche Posay sunscreen. I'm telling you, Costco has so many wins. Be a problem. I don't want to jinx it. Oh, I heard the plop. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. All right, smells good. Wow. That's set up really well. All right, let's slice into it. It's a little fragile. Wow, that looks good. Check out the cross section. It's definitely got a little bit of an elevation there with a hollowness. It's okay. It tastes like flax seeds, like flaxseed milk. What can you expect? I think it would be better, at least if you put cinnamon or some spices in it. It has potential though, it's not bad. And it definitely has a bready consistency to it. So it will hold up like a little open face sandwich if you want to put various toppings on it. I think that actually would work just fine. Yeah, definitely worth making if you impulse purchase the biggie bag of golden flax and it's staring you in the face every time you open the fridge. Definitely make this. It's a good use of it. Yeah, I think it's pretty good, and it definitely has potential for kicking it up notches. But as a baseline, I'm not mad at that. Well, hey guys, it is the end of yet another weekend, and I'm gonna go to sleep. And tomorrow is another day. I hope you all had a good weekend. And I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If so, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.